good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Sir Meerkat, and welcome back to the Moto Meerkat channel, and welcome back to another episode of the ChatterBox podcast. Now, in the last episode, we spoke to Gordon Ramsay's son, aka Aldas. Now, he's not actually Gordon Ramsay's son. Sorry to let a few of you down out there, but it made for a great title, and a whole 3 people watched the video from searching Gordon Ramsay's son on YouTube. So, hello to those 3 people out there. I hope you've stuck around on the Moto Meerkat channel, and yeah, thank you for getting involved. So, if you haven't seen that episode yet, I'd highly recommend you go and give it a listen, but only after today's episode, of course, because I've definitely got a fantastic episode coming up for you today with what I can imagine to be some interesting banter. So, obviously, today I'm super excited to talk to the owner of a channel that's currently blowing up in the Formula 1 YouTube scene. So, joining the podcast today is MrAidenF1. How are you doing today, mate?
Hello, mate. How are you? This was a lovely little intro. I mean, start the podcast, I'm going to talk about the last one and how you should go listen to that one.
Yeah, I do it every time, not just to you,
every
don't worry.
time. You've got to get that listen time, that watch time, you know. Got to get it up.
Exactly. I've got to get people a little bit excited about the new guest that's coming on, but obviously everyone's super excited to see you on the channel, mate. And we always have a good time when we record, don't we, anyway? So this should be good fun.
We do.
It's going to be good. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this episode. I was thinking maybe like Battle of the Dead Trim, something like that.
I'm sure there'll be some dodgy one-liners that come out of it that will just be a banging title, so I don't think you have to worry too much.
Exactly. I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for. Last time we recorded together was me, you, and Tomo on TGSF1 channel, wasn't it?
Oh, Jesus. They had to cut so much of my stuff out.
Poor Ollie.
Because the Formula E thing was going on, so I had to be like, yeah, cut all the dodgy stuff out. Mate, I sounded so boring in that video because all my funny stuff was just gone.
Oh, really? Yeah, to be honest, I said to Ollie, I was just like, mate, just go for it. Like, yeah, we need to cut maybe a couple of the jokes out, but most of it I was like, I'm a crazy bloke, but I lost anyway. But anyway, we'll get into a Formula E talent call a little bit later. We'll talk in depth, but firstly, we'll talk a bit more about sort of your personal life. So obviously, we know, well, people will probably know that you're a Cornish lad. Basically, Aiden lives where the rest of Britain likes to go on holiday, is to describe Cornwall to anyone that doesn't have a clue. So, does that annoy you? Do you hate summer when all of us just come and raid your backyard?
I don't mind it, because obviously, like, I guess it is our biggest industry to think of, like, technical terms, but it's mainly when people, like, I tell people about it and they think it's, like, perfect, and they're like, oh, I love living in Cornwall. I'm like, no, you stay where you live, I'll live down here, you can come down for holiday, just stop coming down. And I didn't mind it before, but now, like, the whole Corona thing, people are still coming down to, like, their second homes and stuff. I'm like, oh, I get why they would, but still, it's just dumb. And yeah, but it is a nice place to live. I mean, when I was younger, I hated it because there's nothing really down here in terms of like anything that I'm interested in anyway, like really, like video stuff or like media industry or anything like that. But now I'm older, I can appreciate that like it's really pretty and it's safe as well. Like we don't have any roadmen at all. Like there's nothing like that. We don't have roadmen. We don't have Nando's. There's not a single Nando's in the county.
What?
There's not.
There's not a single Nando's.
Don't have a Wagamamas. We have nothing.
How do you live?
We only got a Chiquitos like a year ago. Nothing. There's nothing down here.
So, positive about Cornwall, you won't be indoctrinated into a gang, but negative, you won't get any chicken.
That is pretty much Cornwall, yeah.
There we go. To be fair, you don't have Nando's, but you do have Cornish pasties. Are you a lover of a Cornish pasty?
Do you know what? I had a Cornish pasty about an hour ago, not gonna lie.
No way.
Bang. It's sort of thing where like, I never really liked pasties like that much, considering I'm Cornish. But then, like, as soon as you leave, it's just like I just start craving pasties occasionally, and like you can't really get them up country, like where I go uni. Like you can get Cornish pasties, but they're just not Cornish.
Yeah, no, I feel like I know one guy from Cornwall, yeah, and he says the same. They're just not quite made with the love and attention that they would be.
You know a guy from Cornwall, probably related.
But yeah, I got a guy that I lived with in first year that was from Cornwall. But they're tough to find, aren't they? I mean, you're all just basically staying.
In my uni, there's one person I found also from Cornwall, and now she's my neighbour. Which is the most random thing. One person in the whole of like Manchester area that I found from Cornwall, and now she lives in the room next door. Well, house next door to me. It's a bit mad.
How funny! How funny! There you go. You guys, whether you decide to or not, you just come together. There you go. The Cornish vibes just bringing you together.
It's the family blood that runs through every single one of us Cornish people that we relate to each other. Wait, we just need to find each other.
Exactly. With the Cornish pasty though, what was the Cornish pasty you had earlier? Is it your favourite filling? What is your favourite filling?
So the Cornish pasty is a type of pasty by itself. So the Cornish pasty is like a steak pasty with like steak and veg in it.
Okay.
And like I used to always like cheese and onion pasties when I was younger, but now I just gotta go straight for the Cornish one with a steak in because like I don't have them very often. So when I do, I want to have like the proper Cornish pasty experience again. So yeah, definitely probably that one.
Fair enough. Okay, so there's that one specific one, and if people are visiting, that's the one they should try. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and if you're going to go anywhere, I'd say probably Rose is a good one. Prima Bakeries is an absolute banger, but it's a bit in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, there's lots of different places. Just don't get a Ginster's pasty. Fucking hell, lads.
No. I mean, they did sponsor BTCC, but they're still crap.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, fair enough. No, we got some good suggestions there. If I ever do go to Cornwall, I'll be sure to go and visit one of those for you, mate. But good on the food, Cornwall, but not exactly huge on the amount of motorsports action that you can get involved with. I think it's safe to say.
True.
What there kind of is, though, obviously we don't have a proper, I say, or sort of circuit track, Brands Hatch, Donington, Silverstone, that kind of thing. What you do have is banger racing. Kind of a dying sport, but you've spoken about it on your channel before and how you're sort of kind of quite linked with it due to your family. But it's quite sad to see banger racing declining. I mean, especially for you. But is that how you got into motor racing and how your passion has grown? Is it because I think your dad and your granddad raced in banger racing, did they? Give me a bit more insight into that, mate.
Yeah, so basically with the banger racing, it's like banger racing is like the general term for the event you go to. Basically, just oval racing, and then there's like stock cars, there's like single seaters, bangers, and stuff like that. So yeah, my dad started racing when I was like 2 years old because he's like a mechanic. He's all in, like, into cars and stuff. So he started racing on like a dirt oval when I was like 2 years old, and then my granddad started not long after doing the same thing with him. And my granddad was more like, he used to call him a Sunday driver because he was just out there for fun. But my dad was literally like keen as fuck. Like he used to win everything pretty much. So I like grew up my whole childhood just like watching him race and like he was like my hero in that sort of sense. And that's sort of what I wanted to do. So you can start sort of racing when you're 10 years old. So that was always the goal for my whole like growing up then. Was like, I couldn't wait to get in a car. Got my first car for my 10th birthday, or like 10th Christmas, because my birthday is like a week after Christmas, so it's like a joint present, which was an old school Nova, done out like a race car. So I raced that on the grass, on the same track my dad used to race on for a year. By that point he's like sort of moved on different tracks, so like tarmac ones, so he's like moving up and stuff, and the formulas and stuff like that. And then when I was 11 I started racing on tarmac in a mini stock, which is basically like a classic mini, with like iron bars around it. You're allowed to hit people. It's like it's a banging race formula. Not gonna lie. Yeah, did that until I was six. Yeah, literally did that until I was like 16. Then stopped racing because that's the cut off for that formula, and then just never really did another formula after that because I wanted to go to uni and there was not really any point. Because by the time you get into like past the learning process, and they're expensive anyway, so there wasn't really much point in going into another formula. But yeah, my dad does circuit racing now in like the bigger tracks like you were saying, like Snetterton and stuff. He started that this year, just gone.
Gotcha.
And I do a couple track days and that. But other than that, yeah, my racing sort of career is limited to team sport.
Yeah, fair enough. I think, well, especially with, we're in full lockdown now, but with the local lockdowns, it was team sport was all anyone could really go to, which is a bit difficult, wasn't it? But, so, you just mentioned team sport there. Did you ever do any karting, or was it literally, Dad does the oval racing, so I'm going to jump into that as well?
Well, this was the sort of thing I was like talking about earlier. Like, there's nothing in Cornwall. I'd always wanted to do karting because obviously my dream was to be an F1 driver, like every other racing fan when they're younger. And like, you have to start in karting. You have to start young. So not only do you have to have a lot of money anyway if you're going to do karting. Like, we were so far out from where the nearest karting track was. It was like 3-4 hours each way to get to the nearest like decent one. Even that was like quite out of the way compared to the rest of them. There was no like viable way of me doing karting or anything like that. So it was, and plus we didn't really have loads of money to start with when we were younger. So like, it was always just over racing was what I was going to do. It was a bit of fun. Like, when you do over racing, you know that you're not really going to not get anywhere. Like, not going to end up in like, unless you do like a big turn from there and then go to like circuit racing from that, you're not really going to get anywhere within like, you're not going to get to Formula 1 or anything like that. So it's more just for fun and like out of passion. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, that's how I got all my like friends and stuff through over racing. But yeah, I always wanted to do karting, never really did it. There isn't actually a team sport in Cornwall or anything like that. There's no indoor karting tracks for quite a far distance. So it's all just outdoor karting tracks, which I used to love going to. But other than that, it was like, yeah, not much other than oval racing really.
Yeah, that's really difficult. That's when you live somewhere that doesn't have any motorways. It takes you 4 hours to get to
literally.
anything. Jeez. Oh, mate, that is
Well, I
difficult.
think the closest circuit track now is Autumn Park somehow. So that's like near Manchester, because it's like, instead of going like around London or whatever, it actually takes us like 5.5, 6 hours to get to there. Well, I mean, my dad drives. It takes that long anyway, but
right.
Should probably take a bit longer than that. But when he's driving,
no, a spirited drive is always enjoyed. That's what my dad calls them anyway. Spirited drives.
Poor bloke drives 6 hours to the track, crashes, and drives 6 hours back.
What a legend Aiden's dad is.
I feel like I do him dirty every time I put my videos, because it's always just a video of him crashing. But like, he actually is a good driver. He just has like 1 or 2 crashes that just happen to be on a video.
It's always the best.
It's one of the best little videos. I always just say, I'm like, this is quality. Yeah, but he was always really good. He used to win the championships, and I wasn't. I mean, I won some races and stuff, and I've got loads of trophies, but I wasn't really the best.
I was about to ask if you were any good, mate.
I wasn't. Basically, I've
definitely seen a couple of photos of you like on a podium. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, like, we didn't really have podiums much. You sort of, when you do the races, you finish, you get outside your car, top 3 stand by the car with their trophies, and you get in and you drive off. It's not very like, no champagne or anything, but I was alright. The first like 3 or 4 years, I was a massive pussy. Honestly, like, it was sort of thing where when I first started in grass, I was quite quick, because I was, when you're young, you don't really like understand the fear of it. And then my first test session in my mini stock, I was really like quick, like really going like really well. Then my first race meeting, you meant to start off the back of everyone, but they let me start off the front for some reason. And then into turn 1, obviously, because I hadn't raced before, I didn't really like have much spatial awareness of people. Like, I've only done a year. I basically turned in on someone, and they were absolutely pile drive by every car behind me. And I think for some reason I just like became an absolute pussy for 4 years after that. Like, I was still alright, like, I was still decently quick, but it was more like when I was in a big pack or anything, I was a bit too like afraid of like because the way they did the grading was like, there was white roofs, yellow roofs, blue roofs, red roofs, and then like championships. So the higher roof grade, the further back you'd start. So like when the more experienced drivers, like higher grades, would come behind me, I might like bottle it a little bit or whatever. But yeah, I eventually grew out of that. And the last like year or 2, I was decent. I wasn't like the best, but I felt I was happy with how I was in the end. But literally looking back, I wish I wasn't such a pussy for so long, because it was such a great formula to be in. It was so much fun. But yeah, I was definitely a bit more of a pussy than I'd like to admit.
I mean, it's fair enough, like, you are a child at the end of the day, and you're racing out there on a track, like, I can imagine getting, like, absolutely smashed around by loads of other kids could scare you a little bit, especially at your first race meeting, so I think that's fair enough, mate. You shouldn't knock yourself too much for that, but at least you had a great time. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was a great laugh. Like, there was always like you said, there's those like, it's 11 to 15, so it's basically like year 7 or year 8 kids up to like year 11 kids.
Oh my god!
So you know how intimidated you are of year 11s anyway. So when there's like a 15-year-old like bloke looking he looks like he's about 30, looks like he's got 4 kids and a Ford Mondeo, and he's lined up behind you. You're like, what the fuck? Like, you can be quicker than him, but you still be like just scared of like the bloke that's in there. But I don't know, I got followed in when I was like 13, 14. So like, do you remember the bangers like follow into the wall, like they train you in basically?
Yeah,
that happened to me with like a kid who was like 3 or 4 years older than me, and that was a pretty bad one. But I don't really know. It was a bit of I rolled my car. There was lots of crashes involved anyway.
I was just about to ask, because it's sort of oval banger racing, you must have had some hard hits. And if you could remember, what was probably your biggest crash or one of your worst crash?
I'd say the following was probably like the biggest in terms of like I got hurt from. So I hyperflexed my Achilles tendon, which is like basically, I don't know, my foot just went whap. Like I did the thing for the camera so they all saw. But I don't know, yeah, it hurt a bit, but it's sort of over racing sort of thing where if you crash and you tell them you're hurt, they'll chop the roof off your car to get you out. And you don't want that to happen because like it makes your car weak. Basically, it just writes your car off. So I'm there like crying because I'm like 13, just 13, 14, actually got clarted. And I'm there like, my dad's like, it's fine, just don't tell him your neck hurts. Don't tell him your neck hurts. And like, it's fine. But yeah, like that was probably the worst in terms of damage. But like, as terms of like actual like what looked the worst, my roll was probably quite bad. Same guy actually. This kid did not like me.
No way.
I was on his inside and he lent me into like a tyre on the infield. So like I hit the tyre and then sort of like did a barrel roll a couple times, got hit by another car rolling, then did a barrel roll the other way, landed on all 4 tyres, landed like ready to go again, and they just left the race going for the next 3 laps. I'm parked there in the middle of the track like brown bread, and then race finishes, put it back in gear, drive off. Like, it was like, but all I remember about it is my arms were just flailing around like a tube, man, and it was like, And I was
I'm a tube
it happens
man.
so quick, but because you're so strapped in and stuff, you don't really feel it, so it didn't actually hurt. You know what I mean? It's more just you get shaken up a bit, but other than that, yeah. But there was quite a lot of crashes that happened. Like kids got hurt, someone died once when I was racing. Well, not when I was racing, but like in the same time frame, sort of country. But
Jesus.
it was really great because, like I said, like we travel around the country racing and stuff. As we got like more like money and more into it, we like started going to Scotland racing, and like up there, it's like.
Oh wow.
Oh, you get treated like
They're properly
superstars
into
in
it
Scotland. They love it. There's
Really?
like a football pitch track called Cowden Beefs. There's a football pitch in the middle, and then there's like a racetrack around it, and then there's like stadiums on
sick.
each side. It's like, and it's right in the middle of like a town as well. It's not even like the middle of nowhere, so it's like a big thing over up there. But yeah, we went all around the country racing it, and I really enjoyed doing it. And yeah, I wasn't too bad.
That's sweet. Oh mate, that's some incredible stories there. Jesus. I've never been in a car crash or anything like that, so I can't even imagine what it would be like. I'd like to go out there for like maybe one session just to try it out, and then be like, yeah, I'm done, thanks guys.
It's the sort of thing where like you're just constantly in a car crash the whole race. It's weird because you get used to it after a while, so you could be like hit about and you just expect it, but yes, the big ones are a bit like, it's mainly when you stop after you crash, everyone else is still racing around at full speed, then you clock how like, because obviously when you're driving you don't realize how quick you're going.
Speeds,
then you clock like, yeah, because like when you're sat there parked up and your car's broke, you just don't want anyone to crash into you again because that's when it hurts more.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah, full speed to 0 will probably hurt you quite a bit. So, no, that's fair enough, mate. Very interesting stories there. Why was it you said you stopped again? Just the series kind of dwindled, you like got to the maximum age of the series and that was it?
Yeah, that formula is at age 11 to 16, so you can start when you're 11, and then when you're 16, you can't do it anymore. But obviously, there's like older ones. That's when actually you can do actual banger racing, stock cars. My dad did stock rods for a bit, which is like, I don't know how to describe it. Like basically non-contact, sort of. A bit like what I used to start in, but like non-contact, a bit more keen. There's F2s and F1s, which are like the single-seater looking things. And basically, I wanted to try them. I wanted to like do some formulas. But obviously it's really expensive to get into, and I wanted to go uni, so I only had like 2 more years. And at that sort of time in my life, I was like not so obsessed with the actual racing bit. I liked the social, but I did enjoy the racing, but like because I was a bit shit, like I just felt like I didn't really, it wasn't worth my dad's time and effort because he used to like absolutely slave away from my car and stuff, and I was just go inside, play the Xbox, come out, let's go racing, then just don't do very much on the track, come back home, go back to the Xbox, and he's there fixing the car. So I sort of felt a little bit bad for that as well. So since I wasn't properly into it, like I didn't want to make it like my career to go racing or anything like that. I don't know, like just a lot of things built on top of each other, and I didn't really do it. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to do some stuff again, but for now, nothing really is allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to kind of do anything at the moment, isn't it? So fair enough, mate. But yeah, really pulling your own weight there. Your poor dad.
Honestly, what? End of the day, right?
For like 25
if I'm 12, 13 years old, I want to live a normal 12 or 13-year-old's life, all right?
Fair. Okay. But you still get the positives of banger racing.
I felt
Lucky
so
you.
bad.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
To be fair, it must have been, I assume that you probably, I mean, you might have done, did you have anyone else at your school that was racing, banger racing stuff as well? Or were you kind of like the oval racing kid?
So there's like, no one in my actual school did it. Like, well, I don't know how to explain it. So you have like, well, obviously, because it's all around the country, there's like local promotions that run the local tracks. So the one that runs the one near me is called Autospeed. They have a track here and then a track in Devon. So sort of all the drivers from around Cornwall and Devony area sort of sign to that promotion, and that's like where your home track sort of thing, if that makes any sense. So
okay.
But then you're still free to race any other track around the country, but that's like your home sort of thing. So in my area, there was one kid called Ethan. He was in the same year of school as me, but he obviously not at my school, but he lived like half an hour up the road. So we sort of did our test and our license test together, became sort of like best mates quickly, and then raced together. And then he went on to win the national championship in his last year, and I didn't. So all I'm saying is, Ethan, if you're watching this, you got suspiciously quick towards your last year. I mean, I'm not saying there was anything dodgy going on, but I mean, he got suspiciously rapid at that.
I'm not saying there's anything dodgy going on, but there's probably something dodgy going on, is basically what you're saying.
Nah, it's like everyone was sort of, there was always these like a few people that were always so much quicker than everyone else, and everyone just thought they were cheating, but you can never prove it because they just weren't. I don't know. Well, at least if you look at their engine, there was nothing illegal on there or the parts. So I don't know enough about cars, to be honest, to like tell you how people were cheating, why they were cheating. Ethan definitely wasn't, but there was some people out there who were for sure were. But it was when my dad would like, we know people were cheating, and like I'd be friends with them, so I'd make a joke about it, and then they get defensive, and I wouldn't know how to like accuse them because I wouldn't know what. It's like, you've got an extra wheel on your car. I don't know nothing about cars. Like,
that would be quite obvious, I think.
Yeah, you might notice that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you might notice that one. Just slightly, yeah. Maybe if you'd spent some more time with your dad fixing the car, then you would have been able to tell when your mates are cheating.
There's a direct correlation between the kids who did good and the amount they were involved in their car. I just didn't clock it because I was too busy playing Black Ops 2. But it's fine, we move.
Fair play. I mean, I know which one I'd rather choose, to be fair. Black Ops 2, what a game that was, blimey. Fantastic, fantastic. So, yeah, you really enjoyed that banger racing throughout your sort of time at school, and I guess you were kind of the oval racing kid. But how was your school life? Oh, don't say the banger boy. Not at that age. Don't say that. Oh my God.
Some things never change,
No,
John.
no, God. Right, okay. How was your school life, like, more generally? I mean, you're quite an out there person anyway, quite a big personality, so I imagine you probably had like a decent amount of friends, I would hope.
Well, so you say big personality. I had a big something else. A belly, mate. I was so fat. Like, in year 7, I was like, I joined the school obviously in year 7, and then sort of, I got bullied for being fat, but then eventually started on this technique, which I call the self-bully, where I basically just take the piss out of myself the whole time, make everyone laugh by doing that, but also because I'm funnier than they are, they can't really bully me anymore. I don't know, it didn't work perfectly because I had a nickname Fat Jesus for the whole of year 7, so...
Oh my God.
Swings around about though, but yeah, I moved schools in year 8 because obviously I moved house, then moved schools, and then didn't really like it there either, didn't really settle in, so eventually moved back to my original one in like year 9, year 10. But yeah, my school life was, in the end, like looking back, obviously remember all the good stuff, and I really I enjoyed it, but during it I definitely... I don't know, I was a gobshite. Don't know if you could really assume that one. But that's I didn't help myself, basically, that if I didn't want to be liked. People either thought I was funny, annoying, or just absolutely hated me, or a mix of all of them. But yeah, I mean, it was decent. I enjoyed school looking back, but I definitely hated, obviously, during school. Obviously, I didn't really enjoy much of the lessons at all.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm glad you've now gotten a good mix of all of them there. We're going with you, mate. Now you've finally matured and blossomed into a skinny, annoying.
Oh, skinnier, annoying, and still got a dead trim. It's fine.
So nothing's really changed basically, except you've got a treadmill.
Nothing's really changed. I'm still like fat skinny, you know.
Fat skinny, I rate that. I'm just fat. I was gonna go with skinny fat, and I was like,
mate, I was mid-sipper tea then. You can't be doing that sort of thing.
So, okay, so you were possibly slightly bit of a chunky monkey at school, but that's alright. Was it later on in school that you met your lovely girlfriend Amber, or was that a bit later on, sort of university, college time?
So I went to sixth form in the same place I went to secondary school. So obviously when I moved back, it was a bit more of a drive, so it was like a half an hour drive to school each way. So I had to get lifts from people's friends and stuff before I started driving. But then went sixth form there, and then she was the year below. So for the whole sixth form and stuff, yeah.
So I had to get that in.
Nods. No, yeah, she was a year below.
We're not starting a chart.
I was basically, I was it's gonna make me sound really bad now. Her stepbrother was my best mate in school from year 9 to year 12.
Right.
And then I didn't really meet her through him, but he was her best mate in school for a bit, and then he ended up leaving college at the end of year 12 because he just dropped out or whatever. And then basically the next year at college, all my mates had just basically either dropped out or just didn't come in. I had one friend who was just in all my lessons, and basically I sort of became friends with the girls in the year below because, well, girls and boys in the year below, because I knew some people before from primary school and just other stuff. So I just hang out with them a bit, and then in the sixth form centre, because obviously my house was so far away, I couldn't really pop home between lessons or anything. So I spent a lot of time in this common room or whatever, and then I spent time with the year below. And then as I made friends with them a lot, I made friends with more of their year group, and then met Amber through that. And then basically, I think I just I think she slid in my DMs, I think.
Oh, yeah, really?
She's upstairs. She'd probably come down and like shout at me. But she definitely did, because I think I made a comment about her getting murdered or something. Like, they were talking about like getting murdered. I was like, oh, if you do, can I keep your bottom half? It was like a really like dodgy joke. And then like dodgy, like not even, it would mean like, do you know when you say something outrageous because of like, obviously it's funny and like, you know, you're joking. Yeah. She then messaged me like next weekend or whatever saying like, oh, I didn't die by the way, or something like that. And then from that, she just, you know, secured the bag, I guess.
She was hook, line and sinker after that one liner.
She was hook, line and sinker. I mean, it only took me a year to ask her out after that, but it's fine. We move. We move.
That was the sad Aiden being like, no, she's gonna reject me. Oh god, no. But mate, you pulled through. Solid effort there. How long have you been with her now?
Okay, so, after we first, like, started seeing each other, I guess, was, like, because it's 2021 now, the year before last's, like, April, May time, maybe?
Right.
And then we were sort of on and off, just sort of, like, friends. Because I was going to uni, and then, basically, this February, like, I asked her out, and then... Basically, it was on the 29th of February this year I asked her out, so it's moving towards like, what, like 10? No, nearly a year now? I don't know, not far off. But basically, because I did it on the leap year day, we only have an anniversary every 4 years, so money-saving expert, call me Martin Wilson.
Was that planned?
It wasn't actually planned, but I'm happy I did it on that day because, you know, it's a good day, you can't really forget it.
Fair play. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't planned out, I refuse to believe it wasn't planned out from you, Aiden, mate. But yeah, good effort there. I was
it a few days before, right? And then she was on the way over to mine, and she got a puncture in her car, so I had to go rescue her. And then, like,
that sounds like the most catfish moment ever.
Catfish.
I mean, you already know her from school, I guess. But if you hadn't, you'd be like, oh, she's blown a tyre. Oh yeah.
Oh, mate.
Luckily, I pulled through. That was all right. How does she manage to even put up with the shouty man? Like,
honestly, I don't know.
I don't even know.
Like, at my house this year in uni, like, I live with 6 other people in this big house. And then Amber's over, like, occasionally, she lives in halls in first year. So she'd come over, like, quite a lot. So the sort of system we get into is we'd have a day together on the Friday. And then she'd stay until after the race on Sunday, watch me shout into the microphone. Nice. And then she'd leave so I can edit. But I just prefer her being there, really, because, do you know, like, because you might get this, because when you record videos, I don't know, when I'm doing it, obviously I'm, like, sort of performing because I'm just shouting. Like, yeah, it feels so awkward just to be in my room by myself doing it, because obviously, like, with people living with me as well, they can all hear me. Like, the whole house hears me shout every time I record a video, and I feel so awkward when I'm doing it. But having someone there just makes it less, like, do you know what I mean? When you hear someone talk to themselves, it sounds worse than if you hear them talking to someone else, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, it's a bit more chilled as well. I get that. She definitely puts it up a lot. I mean, she was in the video as well recently.
Yeah.
So she's definitely a keeper.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put the link to that in the description as well. Very good little video, and included me as well. So a banging video. Well, not really. Like, I was included in a question. I wasn't actually in it myself.
Your name was mentioned, and a picture of a mongoose appeared.
Perfect. Well, big ups to your girlfriend somehow putting up with the shouty man for this long. So fair play. But does she? You just said there she's in halls. Does she go to the same uni as you then? Was that planned?
So I go to Salford Uni, which is like basically like outskirts of Manchester, because they have me. Have you heard of Media City?
Yeah, I do know.
It's like basically like the media hub. It's where BBC film stuff, ITV film.
Yeah.
It's basically where Coronation Street is. That's where my actual uni building is, and that's the same place there. So like, where I walk out of my classroom in uni, if I look up, there's like a hole in the middle of the building with like windows and stuff, so I can see ITV, like the inside of ITV, from my classroom, if that makes sense.
That's cool.
And yeah, so I go there, and then she goes to Manchester, just University of Manchester, which is like sort of like her hall's on the other side of the city of Manchester. But yeah, she's doing nursing. She always wanted to do nursing. She was looking at Manchester like one of her options. And obviously, as we got more together and actually asked her out, it just made more sense for her to pick that one. But she didn't literally just follow me, lads. Okay, so if we do somehow break up for something horrible happens, you can't get mad at me that she went to Manchester. All right, it was her decision, not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice because sort of she's gonna move in with my lot next year in my big house with everyone, and then after that, actually, she's still got one more year. We'll probably find a house in Manchester or something. I'm not sure, but I want to do London. She wants to do London, but it's a bit too expensive. So
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well, you got almost a full plan there. Bloody hell, Mr. Adult Aiden there. Jeez, but incredible. Thanks for letting us know a little bit more about your personal life there, Aiden.
Yeah.
But in part 2, we will continue, obviously, talking to Aiden all about his ventures into YouTube, his journey in the Formula E Open Talent Call, and of course, answering your fan questions. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the ChatterBox podcast. I'm still your host, Sir Meerkat, and I'm still joined here today by MrAidenF1. Now, speaking of MrAidenF1, are you a bit scared of FOM that they're going to come for your username there, mate?
Mate, I am. I've been going over this thing for the last month about trying to decide whether I want to rebrand myself as Mr. Aiden Rule, which was my original name anyway, and we'll probably get to that in a minute.
We'll get onto that in a second.
Yeah. And plus, like, it just makes more sense because I'm Mr. Aiden Rule and everything else. So, but yeah, I don't know whether I want to do that or keep the F1. But I think the longer I leave it, the worse it's going to be. So, I'm a little bit worried. Plus, it just makes more sense not to have F1 in your name sometimes. It really like letterboxes yourself. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You've got the right thing, Mr. Meerkat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying on all my things.
Are you worried about Natural Geographic coming for your username?
Yeah, I'm so scared. Meerkat Manor's going to come for me.
What's he called? What's the compare the Meerkat bloke called? Gonna get him
everyone always tells me Sergey and Alexander. That's it.
Yeah,
Sergey. Always get compared to them. Bloody bastards. No, we love the compare the Meerkats. They're great. But yeah, just with that username, mate, just rep off the plaster early. I think just think of one you want to decide and then go for it. But I'm sure it'll be great, whatever you choose, mate. Whatever you choose. So, we spoke about in the first half, all about your kind of schooling life. Was it while you were at school that you sort of got into YouTube? And was it at school where you then made your first channel? And what was that channel?
Oh, right. So, I've been waffling a lot this whole time. Strap yourself in. This is going to be a waffle and a half, this one.
I'm excited.
So, basically, ever since I was at year 5, so what was that, like 2010-ish, 2020, yeah, around that sort of time, I've just been obsessed with YouTube. That's all I like. I don't watch TV at all,
Literally
really.
the same with me.
I just watch YouTube. I started with like the Lego Customs videos, used to love them. Then it went to Minecraft, obviously, and obviously as I grew up, I changed what I used to watch. But I used to be obsessed with that. I used to make, I guess like I said, my first video was, I remember posting my first video was me sat on my nan and pap's lap in a towel doing the there's this song Orville, and I was doing that, and it got uploaded for about 10 minutes, and my parents told me to take it down, and I was about 9 years old. I don't remember like what channel it was on. It wasn't even on my actual one, but that is the first video I remember posting on YouTube. It sounds really dodgy, but like it's this weird video. I don't know. I know it's just such a random memory, but yeah. Other than that, like my actual main channel I made. My first actual channel I made was Mr. Aiden Rule. I made it in July 2012, so that's the summer between year 6 and year 7.
Right.
And then...
So that was the first one?
That was my first actual channel that I remember making.
That was the first proper one? Wow.
And then...
Fair enough.
Started posting videos on there, like, sort of the same sort of time, probably the same day. So my first video post on there was me filming my Minecraft screen with a camera saying, "Hey guys, gonna start making videos on here." Then did a few Minecraft videos. I did a few Lego videos in there, and then I did a Minecraft parody song of Flow Rider, "You Blew My Whistle," called "You Mind My Diamonds." That was a fucking corker.
My god!
And I was doing these vloggy videos as well. So I did this whole like, do you know, like the general like year 7 channel that everyone had. I did that throughout year 7, and I got absolutely rinsed because obviously everyone does.
Yeah.
And then basically I got rinsed to the fact where I just deleted all of it. I deleted all the videos, kept the channel obviously. I'm so annoyed I didn't private them because I would have so much content.
I was the same, mate. But all my first 2 channels I ever had, both completely gone. I just deleted them at the age of like 14.
You hate
like
it.
2 years later, I was like, this is so cringe, delete. Whereas now I'm like, no, no.
Yeah, but like I deleted all the videos, and it was a bit weird because it felt, looking back at that time now, from like end of year 7, year 8 to like year 10, I didn't make any videos, and it was strange because to me, like my dream job has always just been to be a YouTuber. So I can't picture myself like trying to do anything else. So like the whole time throughout that, I was obsessed with YouTube, watching all the YouTubers. Obviously, this is like the prime 2014, 15, all that sort of banging YouTube content days. And like people used to say to me, people like me, oh, you'd be a really good YouTuber and stuff like that, just because I just waffled and was just a bit fucking mental, a bit like you said. So I think that's like the sort of I think every YouTuber has similar characteristics, but they're just
that should be like your bio, mate.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, you got to be a bit weird to post videos yourself on the internet and then like be able to take a mick at yourself. But yeah, I think it was 2015 or 16. I think it was 2016, just at the beginning, because I just turned 50. No, yeah, just turned 15 on New Year's Eve, 2015. It turned 2016, and I used my birthday money and Christmas money to go buy an Elgato, the game capture thing, and a Blue Yeti mic, which is the same one I'm using now. And I started making gaming videos and started posting them on MrAidenF1. So that was like my first, like, as far as the channel view went on it now, that's when these videos start, like sort of then. The issue was, obviously, gaming videos are a bit dead by then, and also I had an Xbox 360 2 years after the Xbox One came out, and I was playing, like, literally the old school games, like, and no one cared, but I daily uploaded, right, from the first video for the next 3 months, daily uploaded videos. Like, I'm not saying they were great, but every single day, a video was coming out. You went from 0 to 100. Yeah, literally, and I had, like, no subs. Nobody was subscribing to me. I was posting out these videos, no one cared. And then, I think in February, I did, like, occasionally had these in real life person videos. So the oldest video you can find on MrAidenF1 is called Reasons Why I'm Single. It was Valentine's Day 2016. I was fat. I was sat in my nan's bedroom in like this like cool chair, and basically just did like a skit video, sort of like a general YouTube vloggy video. And obviously I enjoyed making them more. People enjoyed watching them more. But I didn't really clock onto that. So that was the first real video I made, like as in like a proper YouTuber style, not like a gaming one. But over the course of that year, like I went through making videos and stuff, kept doing it, and then sporadically over the next year or so, on and off, like I'd take a break, like I would be very inconsistent, but then I just started making more in-person videos and nothing on from that. So I think nearly a year after I started my channel, I posted Bad Time Bowel Movements, which was an absolute corker of video about me farting in school in front of 2 fit girls and then they calling me a stinky bastard. And then from then, I sort of...
You were doing story time videos, basically.
Yeah, but like, yeah, pretty much. And then
Tanner Monjo too,
my sort of style developed from that. And I just kept making videos in that sort of style. I didn't do gaming anymore. And I just enjoyed making it. And from that sort of point, I was always known as like the YouTube kid in school. And like, always just making videos, doing stuff like that. And I got quite... Do you know when you're doing it, you don't realise like how, like if you're doing good or not. Obviously, when you're making videos, you don't realise it's standard because that's just you're used to it. But like looking back on some of the ones I did now, like year 12, like year 13 videos I was doing, like I really enjoy rewatching them because they just feel like normal YouTube videos. So the whole time I used to make videos, everyone was saying like I'm underrated and stuff, and like I didn't really like bigging myself up because I didn't feel like I deserved like more subs because I was just doing shitty videos. But I think I just would run out of motivation so quickly because I was getting such little reception. But I was doing it because I love doing it, and it's obviously what I want to do as my job. It always has been. But obviously the motivation was going on and off constantly, and obviously when you're inconsistent on YouTube, you're never going to grow anyway, so it was like a vicious cycle. And then basically started uni again. We started uni in September, like the first time. September, fucking 2019 September. Started uni, didn't really make... It was the first time I've like gone somewhere where I'm not already known as like the YouTube kid, if you know what I mean. And it was really weird, but they found my channel pretty quickly, and they said like, I don't know, you know how it is.
I just didn't even bother to hide it. I was just like, I just offered it up to begin with. Like, you're gonna find this at some point anyway, so.
I always found it hard thinking, I started like wanting my quality of my videos to be so high, and I wanted each of them to be an absolute banger that I would end up just not making anything because I'd be overthinking the ideas. So I did the whole of uni not posting really any videos other than like some podcasts I was doing with my friend, and then that sort of stopped obviously because of the pandemic, but. Yeah, it sort of died out slowly over time. And it's a bit sad because the channel is still there, it's still live. All the videos are still up other than a few ads private because formulary, but we'll get back to that later.
Right.
Yeah, like I sort of grew up the channel. You can see how like my style and like how I've grown as a person.
Yeah, you got quite progression on that.
Yeah, but then I think it was in lockdown. It was obviously everyone was going through it a bit in lockdown, weren't they? They were all starting to feel a bit shit about their life and everything like that. And I'd really got into watching it. I'd always been watching...
You're going to move on to talking about MrAidenF1 now, but I'm going to stop you just before we talk about you making that. I do want to talk a little bit more about Mr. Aiden Rule, just for a second. So I wanted to clarify with the people. I know you said it earlier, but just to clarify, that's why he has the socials, the Instagram, Mr. Aiden Rule, because of the YouTube channel, Mr.
Always
Aiden
my
Rule.
username.
You've
Basically,
got almost 4,000 subscribers on there, mate.
Yeah.
Almost 4K. Like, that's a solid effort. Like, a properly solid effort. And as you said, I was going to ask you about why it died out, but I guess sort of kind of the normal progression of it happened, and you grew as not only a person, but a creator as well. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But I did just want to bring up one thing that I spotted. So when I was going to sort of tell the people about this channel, I was going to say, so he's got almost 4,000 subscribers and this many views.
Oh, yeah,
and I looked in the views section, and it had 1.1 million views on the channel. Yep. And I was like, what? How? This like the videos have got alright views, but like nothing insane. So I went to the most viewed video section, and my man Aiden here has a Vine compilation from May 2018 that has over 1 million views.
It's so sad.
That is mental, mate. That is so funny.
My whole teenage year's worth of like effort and life into a channel, right? And the biggest video is one I banged out in an evening of a Vine comp because I didn't want to miss a week's upload.
No way, was that?
Basically, I was going to mention a bit before, like when I was like year 12, sort of that's like 17, I got into like a rhythm again of posting every week a good decent video for like at least 4 months. And like I don't even know what happened. I think I just was busy that week and I didn't want to miss a week. So I just made a Vine comp. And this is like I downloaded like 6 Vine compilations, then cut up the best bits from them, shuffled them around in the timeline, uploaded it, and it just banged. So like you said, I got 4K subscribers. I had like 1.2K before that. Then that boosted me up to like 2,000 or something like that. And it just like basically it's the only reason I got any ads in the end, because it's just constant. Really? That's why I wish I still uploaded on that channel, because it's just consistently bringing in some views, like a couple thousand views every month, because obviously people are watching Vine comps occasionally. But yeah, I think it just really banged in the algorithm. But yeah, it's a bit mad.
I can't remember what it was now. It had that like specific Vine compilation.
Title.
Vines
that can get through the hardest of times. I was so chuffed.
There you go, one of them lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it really
I remember
was.
watching so many of those.
I was so happy with this, right? So I made a video for my nan's birthday the same sort of time called My Nan, and it's a song. It's basically like God's plan, but My Nan. So I wrote like a parody song for my nan's birthday, and I went onto the Vine compilation, went on the analytics, found the average view duration. 10 seconds before the average person would click off, I made a notification come up in the top right corner for My Nan. So that video now has got like 30k, maybe more views. It's got a lot of views just from that. And the comment section is so mad because it's so random. Like my nan used to be in all my videos. Like, everyone used to know my nan, used to love my nan. So that song made sense. Yeah. But if you're just a random person watching a Vine comment, suddenly you find this weird song some kids made for his nan, where he's rapping God's plan but My Nan and dancing, wearing a dressing gown in the middle of a mine shaft, which is what I did. Like, it's the most random thing. Like, but yeah, like
fair play though.
That was MrAidenF1 was a wild time. There was definitely a point where I was. Like you said, when you grow out of it, I was trying to play up to be MrAidenF1, and MrAidenF1 wasn't the same as Aiden, which is part of the reason why I'm like sort of semi-hesitant to get the name on this channel. But I don't know, it is who I am because that's just my username. So, and it always has been my username. Yeah. And obviously, I always want it to sort of be, because I don't want to get rid of the MrAidenF1 accounts or anything. I don't want to delete my or anything like that. So it just would make more sense, I guess. It's just natural progression, but still staying into the same, like, it's me.
Yeah, just don't think about it too much. It's just a username at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Like, whatever it was connected to previously doesn't matter. Fresh slate. You got this.
People don't know.
Yeah, big up Aiden's nan.
Yeah, big up my nan.
Aiden's nan.
Big up Susie. She did a rap video as well. So I'm all over the place here, but she did so many videos. She watched 2 Girls 1 Cup with me when I got 100 subs.
What?
That was my 100
you
subscriber
special. You watched 2 Girls 1 Cup with your dad.
100 subscriber special, mate. 2 Girls 1 Cup. She did a rap video with me where she did a rap verse. She was trying to get famous on Instagram, and she got like 400 followers in like a day. She did loads of stuff. I feel like my nan and me, like 4 years ago, would bang on TikTok, honestly. She's such like a mental woman. She's just absolutely mental. We recreated Vines as well. We like recreated all like the most iconic Vines and stuff. So like the whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. There's a video of my nan saying that. There's a video of her doing like basically, just go if you got a spare afternoon or a spare few hours, lads. Go on that channel.
I'll stick the link in the
have a
description
scroll.
to the channel.
There's some absolute bangers. Some of the titles on that channel are unbelievable.
Amazing. I need to go back and have a watch of those. Jeez, maybe we can see some Nan content in the future on the MrAidenF1 channel.
Yeah, she made a little cameo at the end of my one with Amber, but it's sort of hard to get her into certain videos with F1. I don't know, but that's why I guess we're going on to the F1 channel now a little bit. That's why I like the F1 channel.
I was just gonna say
because it's a bit more
exactly. Yeah, moving
based.
on, you sort of grew out of Mr. Aiden Rule, and then you decided to make Mr. F1, and you carry on the story that you were going to get onto earlier.
Yeah. So basically, MrAidenF1, when I first made it, so you know what? You can cut this bit from the thing. I just want to start that again. So,
sure, mate, go for it.
So yeah, basically during lockdown, we're all going through it a little bit. Everyone was sort of like it was a bit shit. I think everyone can agree. I basically got a job with my girlfriend at a farm in like this sort of basically we'd pick and pack plants. I'm not going to try and describe how it was or what it was. Just we were just doing some shit in a warehouse, which was peak. And all there was to really do was just like listen to music for like 8 hours a day and listen to podcasts. And I just listened to loads of podcasts and like. I'd always been, like I said, always been a big fan of YouTube, watching loads of different YouTube stuff. And I used to love watching like Arava, Tim at Marduk, X-Matty G back in the day, like on YouTuber Championship and stuff like that. So I'd always been watching F1 content. I've always been a big fan of F1, like I was saying. So I think I started watching Tomo at the start of last year, like when I was at uni and stuff, and then listened to his podcast sort of while I was working. And I think it was the one he did with Matty, and they were just talking about like how there's like a big... Like a lot of people trying to start F1 channels and how like it's going to be very different how Tomo rose up, and I was like, I like making F1, I like F1, I like making videos and stuff like that, and I always just wanted to be a YouTuber. At this point I wasn't posting any videos or anything like that. I'd struggle with ideas. It just sort of fell into place in my head, this idea of just if I just made a channel around F1, at the very least I'd have something to make a video about of, you know, when they do a race and stuff like that. And there's always like, I just feel like it's a niche, and I finally have like a niche to fit into, because before if someone would say what's your niche, your channel, what's it about, it'd just be like it's just me. Whereas I feel like with the F1 thing, I still want it to be like people come for me, or like they come for the content, then stay for my personality or whatever. But it's still like F1 is still like a niche community, and I've finally found like a community to be a part of. So yeah, I made the channel, posted the first video, which was me. Like the first thing ever was just me doing the F1 intro with my lockdown trim, which is oh my god, I had a mop and a half, man. And then
I've still got a lockdown trim right now.
Yeah, I mean mine's it's growing out now because obviously we're in lockdown again. But
I needed a haircut again just before it started. I'm an idiot.
Innit?
Right.
I made the first video and then posted it and then put it on Twitter and basically did I was a little beggy, but I was like, I tagged in the comments section. I think I tagged you, Tomo.
I think you tagged me. I think I remember that.
Some of people, and I was like, be my friends, please, kiss. And then Tomo replied to it like, oh, friends. And then he posted it on his community page. And from that, I gained like, it got like 1,000 odd views in like the first like day or whatever, less than that, on my first video, which then got me like near enough like over 100, 200 subs. Or I think it was 100 or something like that. So it was a nice, like off the bat, I knew there was like, an audience for it. So I guess like I got very lucky with that, and I'm really appreciative of Tomo because like, he does it for loads of YouTubers. I mean, he like makes little YouTubers' careers to start, or like he starts it off. He did it for you as well. Funny actually, in that same podcast, he called you a funny fucker. I think that I was on about, because I remember when I listened to it, and I first made my channel, I was like, they kept talking about you. I was like, who's this Moto Meerkat Donny? You know. But yeah, like I just really,
so famous, man.
I really liked making that, and then I started making more, and people were like really enjoying the sort of style. And then I think it's sort of, I started just before the racing came back, sort of thing. So I had the whole season worth of videos of like the Shouty Man reacts, or what, that's not even what it's called. You know what I mean, like the race in how many minutes, and I really enjoyed like, I feel it's just like a niche thing. You know what I mean? Because I got like the off weeks to make normal F1 YouTuber content, but also I could do the race reviews, but not in like a boring long form way, which I do enjoy watching, but I mean like everyone does them. So I really enjoy being different. But yeah, like I know I'm all over the place. I like, for someone who did a podcast for like 8 months, I'm fucking awful at podcasts. I just go on too many tangents. But yeah, like I just
that's
enjoy
the best for podcasts,
being a part of the community. Do you know what I mean? Like that's something I really noticed. Like I said, I did that channel since 2012 till like I guess 2020. Like I didn't do a single collab with another YouTuber. Don't even think I was friends with another YouTuber. I did bully one kid off the internet once because he copied my video word for word. So I made a diss track on him, and then he made a video about being bullied for being YouTube, and then never uploaded again. Disappeared off the face of the internet. It's a bit deep. I'm not going to go into it, but
Blimey.
Sam Dark, if you are watching this video, please let me know you're okay.
Whoa. We're not bringing any beef onto the Moto Meerkat channel here.
Yeah,
keep that to you, thanks, mate.
So, but like now, I've like this whole community, like first straight away, like Beth1 added me to the WhatsApp group, like within my first week of making videos, and like, it's just like there's a community for it, and I really enjoy being a part of it. So like, I did my end of year video, which was the awards, and I tried to get every big YouTuber I could think of that I watched or like was just a part of the community or whatever, just to be a part of it, because it just, if anything, it just goes to show that if I, with like, 2,000 subs, can get fucking Arava, Tim at Marduk, all those people in one video, like, without that much hassle really either, it just shows like how close the community is. It's hard to sort of describe to like other people, I guess, but like when you're big in F1 content, you like got 100k subs, you're like the biggest thing in F1 really, in the F1 YouTube space. It's a bit weird compared to normal YouTube, but yeah, I do like being a part of it for sure. It's definitely like, it's like I found where I want to be in the YouTube bit now, at least for the time being anyway.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. I agree with you. The same, mate. I was the same when doing kind of vloggy style content, I guess you would say. Of I just didn't know anyone else. I was kind of there by myself, and it's a bit difficult when you're by yourself, isn't it? But now we've all got this kind of community around us, which is
same with Tomo, wasn't it? But Tomo made like football content before, and then graphic design content. Yeah, he just busted into the F1 scene, and then he just. I feel like what it is people like me, Tomo, you a bit like. Everyone who's made a channel in the last like year or so, there's been quite a lot of people like are bringing normal YouTuber sort of styles and stuff like that and mixing them with F1, which is like different. So it's like people watch it even if they're like not really caring about F1 that day, they'd still watch the video for you or like stuff like that. So I don't think it's just being a bit different, and I think the F1 space has definitely evolved a lot over the last 12 months, which is good.
Oh yeah, it's evolving hugely, continuing to, and lots of new people are joining as well. So welcome everyone that's been joining sort of the F1 space. But yeah, as you said, you kind of brought a new style to the F1 YouTube genre, and people clearly like it. I mean, especially with these, as you say, the big videos you're doing with other creators, and you're gaining subs pretty quickly, mate. So doing very well. I wish you all the best of luck for the future.
Thanks, lad. My style is basically just shout and edit it so quickly that they haven't got a chance to get bored.
Perfect.
It sounds dumb, but at the end of the day, that is what I'm doing. Like fast-paced content, so you can't get bored. I don't know. I think it's because I spend so long editing like a lot of stuff, especially with the green screen and stuff like that, that I'm so zoomed in on the video. I'm editing it quickly, and I'm editing it so like zoomed in on the timeline. Then when I zoom out, it's all just like rapid.
Yeah. I like it, mate.
I end up watching the video so many times editing as well that to me it's not as fast. But if you're watching it for the first time, it's like fucking hell. It's like getting hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah, exactly. You already know what's coming, so you kind of can brace yourself for impact. Exactly. But as I said, mate, you're doing super well. So big thumbs up from me,
boss.
buddy. But yeah, sort of the final thing I wanted to talk to you about today, and is why I'm wearing this lovely T-shirt that I've currently got on. Both myself and you were involved in the Formula E Open Talent Call for presenters. We both made, if you guys didn't know, both myself and Aiden made it into the final 15, but Daniel Apt, the utter bastard that he is, thought I was too serious and kicked me out of the competition. So cheers, Danny boy, I appreciate that, mate. But he loved Aiden so much for some reason, so he allowed Aiden through. So fair play to you, mate. Has Daniel seen any of your videos? Did you get to talk to him about that at all?
So yeah, like you were saying, so we both got final 15, didn't we? And then I got final 4, got thrown to Valencia or whatever. Did that
alright,
stuff.
don't rub it in.
We'll get into. I'm assuming we'll probably ask you about that or whatever in a minute.
Yeah, I want to talk.
I don't like talking about it too much, but yeah, when we were out there, we saw Daniel on a roof. We were on the roof as well. He wasn't just like he just stood like Batman, like looking down at us.
Oh my god, it's Daniel Apt! He's just stood there.
Now, on top of the pit lane, there's like a whole roof thing, and it was like 18, 20 degrees, absolutely boiling, really. Like, and we was up there, and he was wearing all black, like a jumper, and we saw him, and I went over to speak to him a little bit, and then we got like pictures with him and stuff like that. And I think I got, didn't I post a picture on Twitter saying like me and @Moto Meerkat's best mate? And he liked it. He followed, like he talks to like us on like internet, well on the internet. He did a little bit that like weekend. He was on my plane as well, so like it was really weird seeing them in person. Same with all the drivers really, that like they're just real and they're just walking about like a normal person. It was really weird. But yeah, he didn't really mention us or you. I mean, I'm sure he was thinking about the whole time. He's like, you know what? I should have got that Motor Meerkat here. Could have clocked him one.
Yeah.
Could have clocked him.
Is that?
Should have thrown
That
off the
might be
roof.
as a special guest just to knock me out. Just get beat down by Daniel Apt. Jeez. But he said, yeah, because he didn't let me through because I wasn't serious enough. But then he let you through, who is clearly the most serious person in the whole of F1 YouTube. So that makes
See,
perfect
what you
sense.
didn't
But there
do
we
in
are.
your video,
I'm not hurt
you
by
didn't
it
change
anyway.
the music to like some instrumental piano going. In
Exactly,
life, I
that's
have
what I
one
needed to
passion.
do.
Like you gotta get the heartstrings in there. Like I was just talking back to the
Exactly.
video, but it's just editing. That's what. Honestly, realistically, we
Yeah.
all know I only got in there because my video was edited. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know.
I'm not going to
was
put
a
it
bit
down
rough.
for that. You were great, mate. You were fantastic. It's all good.
Oh,
it's
thanks,
all good.
mate.
But so I wanted to sort of because yeah, as you just said, you went to Madrid. It was right for the testing. Yeah.
Valencia, yeah.
It was Valencia. Sorry, not Madrid. My bad. My
That's
bad.
the one, yeah.
Valencia for the Formula E testing. So can you sort of talk us through what the whole trip was like and what you got up to while you were in Valencia?
Yeah, so like you said, we both got final 15. Then, do you want me to talk about a bit like how they told us we were in the final four as well, or like,
Yeah,
I just,
that's cool,
yeah,
yeah.
I thought I just mentioned it. Yeah,
Go
I just
for
wanna flex on all you lot. No. So
Thanks.
there's a funny
Specifically
story,
me.
including you on this bit as well. So they emailed me saying
Oh,
they want
okay.
to film some additional content, and they was like the way they put it is
Yeah.
if they're doing it for everyone. So I like messaged you before saying, "Oh, when's your filming slot, boss?" Like I wanted to know when you were doing yours, and you were like, "Oh, I haven't got my email yet." And I was like, oh, "That's odd." I didn't know. I genuinely thought we were all doing it, and then got on the call. Daniel Apt was there.
I
full
guess
face on
that's
show
why I did
this
it to
time.
kind of sort of surprise you, but you kind of messed up for yourself by asking me.
Yeah. So I hopped on the call. Daniel Apt was there, full face showing this time. I love him. I do love Daniel. I just want to put that in. He's a legend. But yeah, he was there. Basically, didn't mess about. Jumped straight into it. Told me I got the final four. I was very surprised because, as I think you probably agree, like when we look at them, a lot of the finalists had like BBC experience. Like there's a lot of like
They're
good,
proper,
like experienced Donnies there. And yeah, got to the final four. The other three were Tati, Alexa, and Darren. All legends, all great. I was the only boy going, and it was weird because out of all the people in there, there was only 3 19-year-olds with the youngest people, and then all 3 19-year-olds got to the final. But yeah, we got flown out to Valencia, which was sick. Then when we got there, did like fucking loads of little like COVID tests and stuff like that. Then at the track, we had 2 days like just full of doing stuff. So we had like driver interviews, like social media takeovers. So I did some stuff with Jaguar. Did like a wall sit challenge against Mitch Evans and Sam Bird, which was pretty fun. I was
Which you
surprised.
lost.
Yeah, but I lasted nearly 3 minutes. Like that's fairly
Fair
good.
play.
My legs, mate, were literally. I'm gonna do this to camera now, like this. They were hopping. They were shaking, mate. It was unreal because they were just sat there chilling. And I was dying there, and they were looking at me like I'm an absolute idiot. And like the whole team and like the bit above the paddock were just walking out the garage and like walking paddock and look at me like, what is this kid doing? Unfortunately, that didn't get judged, which I feel like if it did, it might have increased my chances a little bit because that was like out of all the things I did in Valencia, I feel like that was my best thing. But yeah, we did that, and then we did a driver interview. So I interviewed Alex Lynn. That thing was judged. We had like 5 questions to ask him and stuff like that. So I asked him about how his teeth were so white and stuff like that. Did a staring contest with him and won actually. So I basically was saying to him, I'm going to take a seat in Mahindra. But yeah, did that, and then what else did we do? We did like some intros to camera. Did loads of like PR stuff. We just did a lot of stuff really. It was all a bit mental. We did some laps in the safety car, getting driven around. And then
that's cool.
we were in a bit of a rush. So as soon as we finished in the safety car, we literally me and Alexa got literally rushed to the car to go to the airport to fly home. So it was all very like a whirlwind.
right.
So, but yeah, in the safety car laps, I think they're a bit disappointed because they were expecting like some big screaming reactions and stuff. But because like, how do I word this? So I sound like an absolute knob. Because I'd been in my dad's car and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not as quick as a fucking i8.
Yeah.
And we're not going around like a pro race driver. But like, I was sort of knew what to expect.
Yeah,
And
you've done
apparently,
racing.
old boy clocked me. I was doing the pedals with my feet.
Really?
I think he clocked, because I was like, do you know when you're just like, you think you probably just when you're driving, sometimes you're
Yeah,
like,
you're just
you're like
not
leaning with the
thinking
car,
about it. Yeah,
doing a little
yeah,
bit of the wheel action. I was just doing that, and I didn't really give him much reaction. But yeah, it was a really cool experience, and like, even though I didn't win, I like won't forget what we did, and it was so cool. I met so many cool people. Me and Tati, when they were finalists, we sent some stuff to Formula E,
that's such a cool experience.
pitching some other show ideas to them. So hopefully we get something back from that. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. Shame you weren't there, boss man, but I mean, they're doing a sim racing challenge. Get yourself in there now. Get some more factor laps going.
Not a chance. Absolutely no way am I getting involved with that.
I
did see that come out.
With the talent call, mate, I wasn't going to actually enter the talent call if it wasn't for you.
I wasn't going to enter it unless it was for Tomo. So
mate, I saw it come up, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do it. There's no point." Obviously, it was one of those things. Was like, I'm not going to win that. Then I was on a run, and I was thinking about the whole time. Like, I just in my head the whole time, like, I've got to do it. I was like going, like, having the debate with myself, and I stopped for some reason. Checked Twitter, and you just posted your application video, and I don't know what it did in my head to click me. I was like, "Look, if he's doing it, I got to do it." So
damn it! So what you're saying is, if I hadn't have posted my video on Twitter, I would have made it to the final.
I mean, it's ambitious for you to think you're in 5th place, but
I mean, it's an obvious choice for 5th. I think we can all agree.
Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, it was. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the fact I saw someone else in the community entering it. I was like, well, I might as well try it. It's like I did it. I think I banged the video out in like a day or so. So I definitely did it in a day. But yeah, it was one of those things where I entered it, thought nothing of it, got final 15, thought that was it, and then just kept going. But yeah, it was a mental experience. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't really know what more to say about Formula E. I've done one podcast ever other than this one and that of my own where I've talked about it, and I just felt like I waffled for like 10 years about it. So apologies, boys and girls listening, if this is very entertaining.
That's alright. That was all very interesting, mate. Very interesting. But I'd say to say I'm properly jealous, mate. I would have loved to be there, but hey ho, you were robbed of the win, mate. Definitely, you were the best there by a mile. Let's be honest. So
see,
you were robbed, mate.
Obviously, you got to back yourself in every situation. If you don't go into something you can win it, there's no point going into it. But at the same time, like what they were judging on, I can see why Darren won, because Darren's like, all of them are really talented, all the finalists, but Darren is like a very natural, and she seems like a presenter already. Like I always just said, like, you could be watching a TV show and she'd be presenting it, and you wouldn't know that it's like she's won a competition to be there. If you know what I mean?
Right.
Especially with what they actually judged, which was a piece to camera. So like, oh hell, well, welcome to wherever we're here, and it was a 60-second uncut video. And as you probably noticed me talking on this, I struggled to speak a little bit.
Wow, that's a long time. 60 seconds.
So I struggled to speak a little bit, as you just seen, and all my stuff's very fast-paced and edited. So I'm only funny when I'm editing it. But like, I think I'm quite good in like interviews and like something that's more natural and off the cuff. Whereas we have to script this 60 seconds and then try and memorize the script and say it all in one take. And
I'm out of that.
Oh, and I worst bit right, 8:30 in the morning, mate. 8:30 in the morning. And I did it on top of the roof, and I was there for 15-20 minutes trying to do it over and over again, because the first take was near enough there, but I missed a little bit. So, and you know when you start messing up, you get more and more frustrated, and you mess it up more and more.
I assume you've got like a cameraman and people.
Yeah, there's a cameraman there, a producer there, someone else there, and like I was like, sorry, mate, you're gonna have some fun editing. I kept saying sorry to the cameraman, but like I got so frustrated, and I worked myself up that by the time I actually did it, I reckon the thing that I just was focusing so much on saying the words. I had no like. Well, I probably had some, but like I didn't have as much like passion in my voice or as excitement as I would have had to start with. The driver interview, though, I think that probably went better. But yeah, for the stuff that we got judged on, Darren was definitely the win. Like from what I saw anyway, I could see how she won. But either way, I think everyone who was in the final was going to do some cool stuff anyway, because they're all really talented. But yeah, everyone who's going, like, they posted a fan vote on Twitter saying who do you want to win, and obviously with the bigger Twitter following, I was like, I'll just retweet that one for my own ego a little bit. And it was a bit of a landslide on the Twitter vote. So, I mean, all I'm saying is, Maya, have you seen the Twitter? Have you looked at the Twitter? Nah, but she did say in the judging video that I'd be a good YouTuber. So by that she means she goes, he's not very funny, but he was when he edited it, so he'd be a banging YouTuber. So Maya, hit me up with Chunks' number, boss man. Come on.
Chunks, hit me up with Maya's number, please. Thank you.
I was going to put my application video saying to Maya, oh, give my boy Chunks a chance. But I was like, what if she doesn't like that? What if she doesn't take it well?
Yeah, that might have been playing it off a little bit badly. And yeah, maybe they would have just like put that aside anyway, but like we can't have them referencing Maya. Oh my goodness. But yeah, my like claim to fame now amongst all of my university friends is that I've made Maya Jammer laugh. So I've reached it in life now.
Mate, I was on a story.
I can just top myself. Oh yeah, true. That's better than mine. Damn it.
I got to speak to Josh Denzel as well. That was the mad one.
Oh like, yeah, I forgot about that. Tell us about that. That's sick.
Yeah, so they said we're getting a mentor. So we actually had like by a mentor. It was like a 1 hour Zoom call with someone, and it was obviously sick. And they told me it was gonna be Josh Denzel off Love Island, who's like an actual presenter. And I was like, that's mental. And there was a clip on my old channel of me talking about Love Island the year he was on it. And genuinely, I shit you not, I go, speaking of dicks, Josh. And I'm like, better private that one pretty quickly.
That is incredible. I would have said exactly the same.
It's because on Love Island he was a bit of a knob, and he was a bit of the bad guy on Love Island, but he was an awesome bloke to talk to. He gave me loads of advice, and like I spoke to him a bit about Love Island in the video because I was like, I can't spend my one time going to get talking to him, not asking him about how it felt when he came back from Casa Amor. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. It was cool.
Incredible. That's so sweet. I wish you'd got like a full interview on your channel about it, but I guess maybe they had some sort of issues there with them recording and they kind of
I'm still, this is the thing, we're still waiting for all the photos and all the videos from Valencia to come back, so like I've got loads of content and loads of stuff I want to make like one last video. I know everyone's getting really frustrated because we want just like even just the pictures at least, so we post it on Instagram. Like I haven't done one
exactly. You want the cool gram.
But we're waiting on it all. When that actually does come through, we're going to make a cool video, and then that will be the Formula E talent call on my YouTube channel. Just done, because it's just sort of left open now. If someone goes on it like, so did he do well or not?
Did he do it? Yeah. No, that would be sweet. Did you record any sort of vloggy clips while you were there to intersplice with that, or you kind of a bit too nervous?
Well, everyone they were saying like, oh yeah, make sure you vlog stuff, record stuff, and everyone else was like being proper YouTubers, and like Darren and Tatty were like filming themselves vlogging around. I was in such a weird mindset the whole time I was out there. I was like, I'm filming stuff, but I'm trying just to make sure I'm present. I don't know why. Like, I didn't feel like I didn't really want to talk to the camera much, so I didn't really do lots of like vlogging like that. I just filmed loads of stuff, and then I'd rather plus I knew the way I'd edit it. I'd probably do it like I'd sit down, talk through what happened, and then with like the clips and make it fun and stuff like that. So yeah, but I didn't vlog as much as probably the rest of them did. But we got taken out for a dinner in Valencia on one of the nights, which was a bit mental. This fancy tapas restaurant, bought me the black label whiskey out. It was a bit weird because it was one of those ones where you don't know when your starter, main, and dessert comes out, because the starter and mains and all just mixed together. Like you just kept bringing plates of food out. I'm like, which one?
Right.
But it wouldn't. Like you just go on the table. So
they were trying to bring you back to 14-year-old fat Aiden.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was weird, but definitely a mad experience. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah, sweet, mate. Oh yeah, that sounds like so much fun. So much fun. Such a cool experience to do, at least. So was. even though you didn't make it,
it's on the LinkedIn.
Be the winner, it was perfect. There you go.
Mate, I'm formally presenter for a month on my LinkedIn.
Really?
Because I was asked, like, can I put this on my LinkedIn that I've like presented for Formula E? And they go, well, yeah, technically you have, so you can. And because it was from the 29th of November to like the 2nd of December, it counts as 2 months. So my LinkedIn is loving life from that.
Damn it, I'm jealous. I'm going to have to try and think of a way.
Whack it on your CV at the bottom, like talent call finalist. Well, talent call semi-finalist.
Perfect. Oh, right, yeah. We don't have to stick with the get out, Aiden.
Talent call acknowledge my existence.
Maya Jama laughed at me once on the CV.
You should put on your Tinder bio.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's got to be in. Because might get nervous. I might get like jealous.
Oh yeah. You might think you're famous. Don't want gold diggers after you.
Exactly. I can't.
He wants to be Mrs. Meerkat.
Yeah. But that's really interesting to chat all about, Aiden. And thank you for talking to me today. I think that's about the questioning done for me, but the fans are not done there. So thank you to everyone who put a question forward to Mr. Aiden over on my Instagram or my Twitter. If you'd like to ask any questions to future guests, then be sure to go over and follow me over on both Instagram and Twitter. Links to both will obviously be in the description down below, and you're definitely going to want to make sure you go and do that, because the next guest on the podcast, obviously Miss Aiden is a very, very special guest, but next episode is something pretty damn special, because I can reveal that in next episode I'm going to have ex-Formula 1 driver, Indy 500 winner Alexander Rossi. So make sure you go and follow my socials so you can ask him a question, and I might pick yours to be in the podcast.
Two great racing drivers, 2 weeks in a row.
Two great racing drivers, only an episode apart. There you go.
One of these man have won a Daytona 500. The other one is me.
The Cornish 500.
The Cornish 500, yeah.
But that's another reason to subscribe to the Moto Meerkat channel as well. But let's get into it. Aiden, are you ready for some fan questions?
Born ready, boss.
Okay. Well, the first question we've got is from someone you're actually mentioning only just a few minutes ago. @Beth1 on Twitter asks, as a percentage, how much drier would Aiden's channel be without my input?
See, It would be a bit drier, to be fair, because she, on WhatsApp, she is a legend for, like, just shooting video ideas my way. If she has, like, one that she thinks that would just be better if I made it, she just sends them to me and, like, she's a bit like my, content manager. I don't know. She basically, I bounce ideas off her as well. Sometimes if I think I have, like, a good idea for a video, I send it her way, see what she thinks, and then she sends, like, some ideas my way. So she's not every video, obviously, but, like, occasionally we do it quite often. So, yeah, it would be a bit drier. She came up with the meal deal video, I think. So the meal deal video idea she came up with, which was obviously a banger. She just sends loads of ideas my way, really. So yeah, a bit drier.
A decent percentage drier.
I'd say 30% drier.
30. Okay, there we go. You got a solid number there, Beth, of your help to the MrAidenF1 channel. But yeah, very nice, very nice. Now, at Ricky Red on Instagram asks, would you rather drive the 1992 Williams or the 2004 Ferrari?
Probably the 2004 Ferrari, only because I know more about it in that, like, I've seen more of it, if you know what I mean. And, like, it was an absolute banger of a vehicle. I don't know, I've never really been, like, a hardcore, like, technical nerd in F1, I guess. Like, I know
I'm the same.
I know a lot about F1 and, like, just general F1, but, like, I know, like, the dominant cars and stuff like that, but I couldn't tell you, like, who drove the Williams in 92, honestly. Like,
yeah, fair enough. I'm just starting to learn a bit more, and I'm getting more and more into
like,
F1 over the past 4 years.
Pre-2000, I don't really know much.
Nothing.
But 2000 onwards, I could probably, I could tell you every champion and, like, all the stuff like that, so, yeah.
Okay, good answer. I'd probably say the same as well, to be fair. That 2004 Ferrari is just wow, especially in the red. Just
it looks sexy as well, doesn't it?
Exactly. So you'd fit it well there, mate. You'd fit it well.
Oh, thanks, boss.
I do flatter you. At that kid Rowan on Instagram asks, what barbers do you go to?
Well, surprisingly, one of the best ones in Cornwall. Well,
the blind one.
Nah. This is the thing, right? The guy's been cutting my hair. The hairdresser's been going to for the last, like, 7 years in Cornwall. It's the 10th best. So
you've just been clouding on him the whole time.
It's the 10th best in the UK, apparently. But yeah, the one in Manchester is really expensive as well.
Who, like, decides? Is there a Michelin star?
It was in like some hairdresser magazine because they post it on their Instagram. But yeah,
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I think it's more just what I asked for. But yeah, my hairdresser's a legend. He watches my videos. Shout out to Tom. He's the Cornish one.
Oh, big up Tom.
Right, yeah, I went to Manchester. Right, first hairdresser I found, also from Cornwall. What are the odds?
Whoa.
But yeah.
I'm telling you, mate, you're just drawn together.
Do you want to know how much I paid for my haircut in Manchester?
How much?
£24 for a skin fade.
Why?
Sometimes it doesn't even touch the top. Because I feel like if I pay more money towards it, well, it's the first place I found, and it's close to my uni. But also, I feel like if I'm paying a good amount towards it, I'll trick myself into thinking it's good, but it still hasn't worked yet. But we'll try.
That is insane, mate.
In Cornwall,
that is insane.
It used to be 11 quid in Cornwall. I thought that was expensive, but now it's like.
I'm the opposite to you. At home, like in Surrey, here where I am right now, I pay £18 for a haircut.
You live in Surrey, you Tory.
Yeah, and then I went to uni.
Expensive.
And exactly, and then I went to uni, and I only pay a tenner in Cardiff, and it's a better haircut, arguably.
Is it sheep shears?
Yeah, exactly. They just got you in a pen, like, stay still. Oh, that sounded a bit more wrong actually when it came out.
It does, doesn't it?
Right, let's move on to another question. At fanatics_F1, obviously, big up Mike on Twitter.
Big up.
He asks, what gave you your passion for editing and making videos in the first place? And will it always be around F1, or do you think you're going to move on to something different in the future?
Cool. Well, quickly before my battery just died on my camera, so I just go anyway, and we'll just do without video for the end.
That's all right.
All right, cool.
Go for it, mate.
Yeah, so it's actually weird because it goes full circle, because the first thing I remember ever watching going like, oh, that's cool, I want to make a video like that, was the F1 races they used to do to music back in the day. So like 2008 Brazil one always stays in my mind because I was a Hamilton fan. It was an absolute banger of a video with like music and like editing to it. So that's the first thing I remember watching and thinking like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that. And then I just always, like I said, a bit obsessed with YouTube, liked making videos, and I just liked entertaining people and stuff. So yeah, I always like making videos and stuff like that. Liked the editing part because obviously, I don't know, I just did more of it, and as you go through it and stuff, I just liked being creative with it. And yeah, I just always like making editing stuff. And what did you say? They're always about F1.
Yeah, saying he was asking as well if you're planning on continuing sort of doing F1 content, or whether you think you might shake it up a bit more in the future.
Well, as I briefly mentioned a little bit, like when if I'm going to change my name back to MrAidenF1 or whatever, obviously it doesn't pigeonhole me as much.
Yeah.
But I do I want to keep it mainly F1 like consistently, but I have like different ideas for like I want to throw in there. So like in my other channel, I was only uploading normal videos like every couple months. Or like every something like that, or every month or whatever. So even if it's only like even occasional videos like that that just get chucked on there, like I still feel like the audience will enjoy it because they subscribe to me for me as well as the content. So like I ran a marathon for my birthday the other week, like no training.
You're a madman.
Yeah, I'll make that video. People will watch it because they're interested. Like it's not
Exactly.
even it's not F1 related. It's still on the channel, but and that's why I think with the name as well. If it does go back to MrAidenF1, it's more like I said earlier, the channel is just me, and then. It's like it's sort of the same thing with Arava. Like Arava could do the same thing, post a video not about F1, and if someone finds him through it, they're not like, "What's this?" Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely mainly F1 based for the foreseeable future. But definitely, I want to chuck some more real life or more YouTuber type videos in there. Or, like I said before, just mixing a bit of everything, really.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, mate, I look forward to it. I'm sure whatever you'll make, it'll be great. So I'm excited to watch all that content that comes out.
You're too kind.
Let's move on. I know, I'm just lovely, mate. I'm just lovely. What can I say? So for final two questions, both from the same person. At laksh.year01, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I do apologise. On Instagram, they asked first. I definitely didn't. First question: would you rather be the Tifosi in 2020 or a McLaren fan in 2017?
Did McLaren have the dodgy black paint job in 2017, or was it orange yet?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think by 2017, I think it was orange. I'm pretty sure. It was like 15 or 16.
They had Alonso,
it was 16
though.
where it was first, I think, was orange.
See, it's going to be painful either way, but I don't think I could support Alonso like that, you know, so probably Tifosi. Like red, yeah. I'm going off the team kits now because it's just gonna be painful. It's like which like color do I want to cry in?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, probably the Tifosi. Like, there's some things to smile about.
Yeah, I was thinking with the Tifosi as well. Like, it went down really rapidly because of the engine, and they kind of know why. Whereas McLaren, they had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah, that's true.
So, a bit more easy to accept maybe. And then a final question from the same bloke. Would you rather fart really loudly or poo your pants silently?
See, usually I just do for the fart really silently, but it stinks. As in the bad time bowel movements video I referenced earlier. That's basically what I did.
Right.
See, I've got IBS. This is actually a real life question for me. What was it again? Fart really loudly or shit myself quietly?
Yeah, fart really loudly or poo yourself quietly.
Well, I fart really loudly all the time anyway, so I'll just do that. Because if I shit myself, then that's clean up.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wasn't sure if it was maybe like a one-time thing or whether this was a recurring thing, but my man on Instagram didn't quite stipulate.
I mean, this
the
Instagram,
question
you're not going to get too much like sophisticated questions, are you?
Exactly. So there we go. We have decided on farting really loudly there. Perfect. Asking the important questions here.
Yeah. You're a journalist now.
Podcast.
Put journalist in your bio.
Exactly. Legit F1 journalist here, Moto Meerkat.
Yeah.
We're going to sign off for today. So thank you for being on today's episode of the ChatterBox podcast. Aiden, I hope you've really enjoyed yourself, have you, hopefully?
I did. Thank you for having me, lad. I really enjoyed my time. It was really good fun.
No problem, mate. It's always great having a natter with you. And again, always happy to be on your channel. Always happy for you to be on my channel. So I'm sure we'll have lots of collabs coming soon about all different kinds of stuff. But if you somehow aren't subscribed to MrAidenF1 already, I'll leave both the links to his new channel and old channel in the description. I'll obviously be sure to stipulate between the two.
Let's not put the
Subscribe
old one
to
in
his
there,
new channel.
Let's not put the old one in there.
I'm going to put the old one just so they can go back and have some fun watching
Go watch
videos
Bad
with your
Time
nan,
Bowel
your lovely
Movements.
nan. the content we didn't know we wanted, but what we need.
Exactly.
But yeah, again, if you haven't subscribed to MrAidenF1, make sure you go down and do that below. But if you enjoyed our little chatter, our little natter today, be sure to drop a like on the video because I really appreciate it. It keeps me doing these ChatterBox podcast episodes, and obviously subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more episodes. And leave me a comment down below, letting me know who you'd like to see me interview in the next future episodes. Obviously subscribe as well because because Alexander Rossi is going to be on the podcast in only a couple of weeks, which should be so much fun. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you meerkats later. Goodbye, guys.